today you're going to be writing your writing piece. You have this paper. It was just passed out to you. It's called Self-Warming, Self-Cooling Clothing Writing Piece. It says, you have now completed your design of the clothing piece and received feedback from your peers on how you can improve your design. You have not received feedback from your peers because we're running out of time, but I do have post-it notes on all of your posters, and that's my feedback to you. So you need to look at those questions that I ask you, keep those in mind. You are now presenting your design to the North Face Clothing Company for their outdoor gear collection, or to Jadobi Medical Company if you created a clothing item that could be used in a medical scenario. You are taking on the role of an engineer presented with a problem and designing a possible solution. You will be presenting your information in letter format, informing the company of the following. So you're going to start with your introduction. That's number one. It says, be creative. You want the CEOs to know that you know your material. Think real life. If you are pitching to the North Face, perhaps a hiking scenario. If you choose Jadobi, think a sports-related scenario. Take it one step farther and back up yourself with data. How many people have been affected by situations like this? If you don't know off the top of your head, you will be able to do a little bit of research. You only have about 10 minutes, and really you're just going to try to focus on finding a question or like a reply to that type of a question. Number two, what condition it was created to reverse, and an explanation of the conditions, hyperthermia or hypothermia, and why a clothing design is needed. So you're establishing a problem in this paragraph. Number three, what your design is. So you need to have an explanation of your design, parts of your design, a rough estimate of the cost. Here you're presenting a possible solution. You also need to add in a drawing of your design with labels to help with the explanation. Number four, what the chemical process is for your design. You need to explain that it's either endothermic or exothermic, and why you chose that specific chemical reaction for your condition. And you also need to include the statement that the chemicals are safe for human contact. While you're doing some research, if you find out that it's not safe for human contact, you need to be truthful in your paper and add that in there. Number five says why you think it will work and be beneficial to the company. So you're trying to tell this company, hey, here's my idea, you should mass produce it. Then number six, you write sincerely, and then it has your signature. I want you to sign it, and I want you to print your name below it. So this is what you're going to be working on. First you're going to brainstorm. While you're brainstorming, I only want you to take the ideas from this paper. So take all of the different ideas that you have and put it on a lined sheet of paper. During brainstorm, you are not writing your rough draft. You are just taking your ideas and putting them on paper. Okay? Everything you're going to do today is by yourself. Everybody has to write their own paper. After you brainstorm, then I want you to go and look at your poster and get feedback from, read the feedback that I gave. You need to keep those questions in mind. You may take the post-it notes off of your poster, but I do not want you to write on them, because a lot of the questions that I put on your poster, I can put on everybody's poster. So I'm reusing the post-it, so I'm not going through my stash. But you need to, you can take them off so you can need to answer all the questions. Excuse me. After you look at the feedback, you're going to have about 10 minutes to do some research. You need to make sure you're answering all the questions and that you are able to answer the one question right here. It says, how many people have been affected by situations like this? You need to make sure you can answer that question. I know that there were some people that are having trouble finding specific numbers, but if you can come up with anything close to something reasonable, then go ahead and put that in your paper. After you do research, you only have about 10 minutes. You are going to do your writing of your rough draft. You are going to have 30 minutes to write your rough draft. During that time, it needs to be absolutely silent. Everybody's writing their own paper. You are sitting in your assigned seat. You're not bothering anyone. You are getting this rough draft done. If you finish before the 30 minutes, then you are to go ahead and start revising your paper, going back, looking at it. You need to make sure you have your design in there in your rough draft. After your rough draft, I don't know if there will be a whole lot of time, but you'll start to talk about peer reviewing. I have a little half sheet of paper right here. It says essay code sheet, and it's got a bunch of different codes that I could use. Like when I'm reading through your papers, a bunch of codes, and this is what it means. You will take this paper that you will get, take this paper, and you are going to glue it on the inside cover of your science notebook. So here's my science notebook, the inside front cover, here's my essay code sheet. So you're going to glue it here. If you are one of the people that have the plastic covers, you need to use some tape and tape it in because the glue won't stick. But you need to do that, and then once that's glued in, then you can trade papers, start reading, and I want you to use the codes on this essay code sheet when you're monitoring the other students' paper. Before you start peer reviewing, I have a short video that you'll watch, and it talks about the 10 mistakes that are commonly made with peer reviewing. If you have any questions, hopefully they can be answered by the sub. Have a good class.